Hi guys, it's Professor Palumbo here. I thought I would create a recording about Chapter 7 Hands-On. Chapter 7 is a little bit more difficult of a chapter. There's a lot of information in it. Specifically, the information about printing is very confusing. So I thought I'd walk you through a little bit of Chapter 7 Hands-On. First of all, creating the menu is a little bit tricky, so I thought I'd walk you through that. Obviously, starting out creating a menu, you're going to drag a menu strip item from your toolbox toolbar from the menus and toolbars section into your form, and that creates the menu. We're going to start out up top with ampersand file, and then here's the tricky part. Underneath file, we're going to have two options: print selected, and I don't remember what the underlined letters are. You guys can figure those out yourself. Print selected flavor. And that's going to be one of the reports that we're creating. And then print all flavors. What this project is about is we're going to be maintaining a list of coffee flavors. And so we want to be able to create a report that prints out a selected flavor that we've chosen, or we also want to be able to print out a report that prints all the coffee flavors in the list. Printing in Visual Basic is not the most user-friendly thing in the world, as you're going to see in this chapter. But I want to have you at least see how to create reports using Visual Basic, so you have some sort of idea of how this occurs. This is different than the print button that we've been excluding in the previous chapters. That print button was really just to take a screenshot or take a picture of what our form looks like. This is something totally different. The printing that we're going to be doing in this chapter is about printing reports using the information, using the data that's in our project. So in this project, like I said, we're using a combo box to maintain a list of coffee flavors, to be able to add new flavors, remove flavors, clear the entire list, count the number of elements in the list. And by having this list, it introduces us to a lot of concepts, creating a for loop and doing looping and things like that. So this is a very important chapter, but let's get through this menu first and then we can talk some more. So we're going to be creating two reports, the print all report and the print selected report. We want to be able to access these reports two ways, either sending them to the printer or being able to view them on our screen using print preview. So each one of these items, each one of these reports is going to have two sub items from it. So if I go to print selected flavors, you'll see there's an arrow off to the right. And I want to go ahead and type over there, excuse me, I'm going to have a print all option for the print selected report. And underneath that, I'm going to have a print preview option. And like I said, don't forget your underlined letters. I don't know what they are right off the top of my head, so I'm not including them here. But so in my print selected option, I have print all, which is going to, I'm sorry, not print all, print selected. Oops. Okay, come on. Let me go back into edit mode here. Ooh, okay, not responding. Oh boy, it took me into my code. Okay, let me go back to the design and see if, there we go. Print selected. So I'm just to keep it easy, well, all right. Print selected, that's what they tell you to do in the book. And then here it's supposed to be preview selected. Okay, come on, Ms. Palumbo. All right. Oh man, it's too early. It's early this morning. Okay, so I want to be able to print the selected flavor report to the printer, or I want to be able to preview it to my screen. I want to do the same thing with the print all report. So with the print all report, I'm just going to say print all, that's going to go to the printer, or preview all, that's going to go to my screen. Okay, so if I close the menu, I just see the word file. If I open it up, I see print selected flavor and I see print all flavors. But inside those menu options, each one has the option print selected, preview selected, or print all and preview all. The print is going to go to the printer. The preview is going to go to print preview for both options. Okay, then next to edit, next to file, we're going to have edit, ampersand edit, and then underneath that you're going to have add coffee flavors, remove coffee flavors, clear coffee list, and display coffee count. And then over here you're going to have your help and underneath that, you're going to have About. Okay, so that's our menu. And Help About is going to be a form using the About box template, just like we did in the previous chapter. You're going to be writing the code for adding coffee flavors, removing, clearing the list, and displaying the coffee. I think that's relatively straightforward, those four, so I'm not going to get too much into those. But what I want to spend the time on right now is talking about printing. So in order to do the printing, you're going to have to add some items from your toolbox toolbar. A lot of people have been emailing me asking me, what is the print all print document? What is the print selected print document? What you need to do, let me close my email. What you need to do is you need to add two print documents from the toolbox toolbar printing section. So I'm going to drag print document in, and I'm going to drag another print document in. So now I have print document 1 and print document 2 in my component tray at the bottom. I'm going to click on print document 1, and I'm going to come into my properties window, and I'm going to change the name. So instead of print document 1, I'm going to change this to print all print document. So now there's my print all print document. Print document 2, I'm going to remove the 2 from the end, and at the beginning I'm going to add print selected. So this is my print selected print document. So now I have those two items, and I'm going to be writing code using these items. The print document think of it as a sheet of paper. This is the best way to describe what a print document is. A print document is an empty blank sheet of paper, and we have to tell Visual Basic what we want to see on that sheet of paper. It's easy to tell it to send that sheet of paper to the printer, or it's easy to tell it I want to see that sheet of paper in print preview. But the more tricky part comes in where we're defining what we want to see on that sheet of paper. And to do that, we're going to need something called the print page event. And I'm going to show you how to create that in a moment. But while we're talking about printing objects, the other thing I want to just mention quickly that you're going to need to drag in is the print preview dialog. So I'm just going to drag print preview dialog also into my component tray, and I'm just going to leave that with the generic name of print preview dialog 1 because I'm only going to have one of those. And that object enables us to be able to use print preview. Okay, so let's go through quickly a little bit. I'm going to work with the print all just because I think that's the one that's a little simpler because we're not doing any selecting. And I'm going to come to print all. Now, I'm not going to be double clicking on these intermediary menus, but I am going to double click on the lowest level menu, in this case, print all. So let me double click on print all, and that takes me into my code. And if you look at your code for print all, it's basically just saying I want to send my print document to the printer. So all I have to type in here is print all print document, and when it comes up, you can just double click it if you want to. Print all print document dot print. So that's pretty easy. Again, my VB is not responding, so give me a second there. Okay, print all print document dot print. End of story. That's all I have to code for my print all print document. Very simple. Now, that's telling Visual Basic to send my print all print document sheet of paper to the printer. Okay, now I haven't defined what's going to be on that sheet of paper yet. You're going to see a procedure on page 316 called the print all print document print page event. And you're probably wondering where the heck that comes from. Well, to create this print all print document print page event, I know it's confusing, you're going to click the drop down arrow here, and you're going to select your print all print document. That's one of those pieces of paper that we added to our form. And down here over on the right for the events, you're going to select print page. So this is what you can do to create your print page event. Then on the top of page 316, you're going to see the code that you need to write to create the document that we want to send to the printer, to define what we want to see on the document. And what we're going to do in this document is we're going to define what font we want to use, how high the line of code, how big that line of code should be, each line, where the horizontal location of what we want to print is, where the vertical location of what we want to print is, and then what we want to actually print. Then you're going to see a line of code that says e.graphics.drawstring. Let me just go ahead and code this one. e.graphics.drawstring. And what the e.graphics.drawstring is it has 5 pieces of information that need to be included in it. The first piece of information is, what is it that you want to print? Let's say I want to print the word flavors. Okay, so that's my first parameter. Then I'm going to put a comma. The second thing that the drawstring is looking for is, what font are you going to use to print this word or whatever it is you're printing. Now I'm going to type in heading font. Now that's something that I haven't created yet. That's a variable that I have to create up above. I have to create that variable. And you'll see that code on page 316. But my heading font is something that I define. It's going to be Arial 14 bold. All right, and now in my e.graphics.drawstring, I'm using that heading font. Now the next parameter that I need to supply is, what color do I want to print in? I'm going to use brushes.black as my color, comma. Then the next thing it needs to know is, what is the horizontal print location of where you want to print? Now I'm going to create a variable called horizontal print location single. So that's what I'm going to be typing in here, horizontal print location single. Now that's a variable that I have yet to create. Now obviously, I'm going to get a squiggly line since I haven't created that variable. But then the fifth piece of information that it needs is, what is the vertical location of where you want to print this? And I'm going to use another variable, vertical print location single. Whoops, location single. And again, since I haven't created that variable yet, it's going to give me a squiggly line there for the 3 things that I haven't yet defined. So if I wanted to just do that real quickly, I could say DIM heading font. And my DIM heading font is going to be as new font. And then in parentheses, I'm going to say it's Arial. And I'm going to say comma 14, something like that. You guys will have to refer to the book for the specifics of that. And then same thing with the other variable, horizontal print location single. And that variable is going to be as single. And that is going to be equal to, now this is a parameter that we're going to supply, e.marginbounds dot left. This is going to be the location of where we want to start printing. We want to print at the left margin boundary of our sheet of paper. That's where we want to begin printing. And then in terms of where we want to be vertically on our page, this is going to be the vertical print location single variable as single. Single is just a numeric data type. And again, we're using a parameter called e.marginboundary dot. Now for this one, this is going to be our top margin because this is our vertical location. So this is basically saying that we're going to start printing. We're telling it what we want to print. We want to print the word flavors, and we're telling it what font we want to use, the heading font, which we've defined as Arial 14. We want it to print in black, brushes.black, and we want it to print at the horizontal print location, which is our left boundary, and we want it to print at our vertical print location, which is our top boundary. So that is e.graphics.drawstring prints a line on that blank sheet of paper. Remember, our print all print document is a blank sheet of paper, and we're trying to define what's on that sheet of paper. That's our heading. Then it's going to go on and continue and go into a loop to print all of our coffee flavors. So we're going to use a little loop to do that. That code is in the book on page 316, but hopefully this is helping to give you guys a start. You can see what your menus look like. You're just going to be double clicking on print menu items to create that print option to either send your print to the printer or send it to print preview. But then for your print all print document, as well as for your print selected, where's my print selected print document? For each of those items, you're going to have to create a print page event. And both of those are on page 316. And these events they get triggered anytime you try and print that document. So when I said print all dot print and I'm trying to print that document, it's like, okay, I'll print that document, but you have to tell me what's in that document. And that's what triggers this print page event. So anytime, you don't have to call this print page event, it automatically gets triggered anytime you try and print this print all print document. When I try and print my selected print document, the print selected print page event gets triggered. So these two events that are on page 316, you don't write any code, you don't double click on anything. These things get triggered automatically. We write the code that defines what's on that sheet of paper, but the four menu options, which are on page 315, are what are going to trigger the printing either to the printer or to print preview. Okay, I hope this has helped a little bit with the printing. I know it's a difficult concept. If you have more questions, please let me know, but I'm going to leave you guys for now, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.